Time to check in with Niagara Falls Mayor Jim Diodati to see how the falls are doing. And how are you doing this morning?
My gosh, if I was any better, I'd be you, Bob.
Oh, stop it.
The weather is so amazing. I mean, I seen everybody out in their yards and walking and out and about, and feels great to have a little bit of normalcy.
And I'm sure we're seeing a lot of patios pop up in Niagara Falls, and we're hitting 18 degrees for a high today. So
Amazing. Everybody's excited. You know, you can just feel a little bit in the air, a little bit of optimism, and people are really enjoying the nice weather. So good. I'm glad we've had enough challenging things. It's good to have some good things now.
absolutely. I've got to ask you about, there's an appearance that you're making. Thanks for being on our show, by the way, but there's another show you're going to appear on. It's a podcast. Jim Fannin, a host who's known for incendiary comments, quite controversial, accused of COVID misinformation and misogynist remarks. And you're appearing on his show. What's the context of this?
Well, I gave it lots of thought, and I decided, and I know he said some offside and disrespectful things, no question about it. And my objective, really, Bob, I want to shine light in the corners. And the only way you have change or you make change is you come together, you don't run away. And you know me, I don't shy away. And my message to him is going to be about inclusion, diversity, equality. And you can't name, call, or hate or disrespect. And you can't even hate the haters, because then they polarize even farther. You got to meet them in the middle. So I'm taking a page from Martin Luther King, and I'm going to try to meet them halfway. And I think what we've been trying to do in the past by ignoring hasn't worked. So let's try something different. And so that's my objective.
So this ties in with your social media neutral zone that you had launched previously.
Yes, thank you for that too, because especially during COVID, it hasn't brought out the best in people at all times. And people, even good people, have said some really rotten things. And I get it. They're under stress. They're nervous. They're angry. They're everything. And they take it out on the target that's closest. So I'm hoping that weather like we have now, calmer approach, and trying to listen, doing more listening is going to help people come together, not be so mean, and try to work together. That's my hope anyway.
Okay, I want to ask you about the border extension to the April 21st, was it? Yeah, April 21st. So we're hearing from the Americans that they think they're going to be wrapped up with their immunization around May. So do you think this is going to be the last extension? Do you see the border opening up after that?
Well, I could see maybe another extension, but we're having discussions now about opening and what it's going to look like and how we're going to do it. I know Brian Higgins, a U.S. Congress member, has been pushing hard on the American side. And it's funny, just last year, we wanted the border closed because they were having so many more cases than us. Well, now they've done a 180. They're doing a much better job at vaccinating, 5 times what we are. And you'd think if anyone was nervous about it, it would be them. But even if you look at retired Major Hilliard, General Hilliard, he has said that by June the 20th, every Canadian that wants a vaccine will have at least one. So I think July 1st, 4th, it's a reasonable time frame for anybody vaccinated. So those are the discussions we're having. And again, we always say the gradual opening, not all at one time. And I think that's a reasonable approach at that point if everybody's been vaccinated.
Okay, so how do you see this working with the timeline for the casino reopening, or maybe gradual reopening?
Well, that $1 million question, the number one employer in the region, everybody keeps asking. I had someone say to me, oh, this is killing us. And I think this is all going to go hand in glove, because once it's safe to open borders, it's certainly safe to open up casinos. And now that we've opened up capacity for getting your haircuts, open up capacity at restaurants, churches, why not casinos if they can do it in a safe way? I think we're on our way. What great news. Everybody 80 and over has been vaccinated or scheduled. All long-term care and retirement homes are done, and that's where 80% of the deaths were. Everybody 60 and over can get vaccinated at pharmacies, 75 and over at mass vaccination sites. 4 vaccines, all 100% effective at preventing hospitalization and death. And now we know by June 20th, we're all going to get the shot. And now an extra 1.5 million AstraZeneca doses from the U.S. Lots of really, really good news. And I choose to focus on the good news, Bob. You know me, I'm a cup half full kind of guy.
Yep, and there's definitely a light at the end of that tunnel. By the way, we mentioned, so April 21st is the border extension date. The next day is Earth Day. Tell us about Earth Hour and the plans with the falls.
So, yeah. So, normally, like this Thursday, we're celebrating Greek ancestry. We're going to have the falls blue and white. Well, there's always a color, but for Earth Day, we're going to turn the falls off for that night, and we're going to have darkness, and we're going to try not to have a carbon footprint, and we're going to try to turn off the lights and all non-essential electricity. So that's how Niagara Falls is going to respond to that.
Okay, thanks so much. We got to get to the Niagara Falls patio forecast. Thanks, Mayor Diodati.
Thanks, Bob.